What's up, y'all? I'm Kid11, and this is the Crypto.com Arena. It literally says it right there. So yeah, this is Crypto.com Arena, otherwise known as the Crypt, otherwise known as Staples Center. What do you call the place where the Lakers play?
Staples Center still.
Staples Center.
Staples Center.
Staples Center.
Crypto Staples Center.
Established in the year 1999, the Los Angeles Lakers established a dynasty here under the wings of Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, a historic duo that is still celebrated and commemorated to this day. In this arena, Shaq and Kobe became the most fearsome duo in professional sports history, lifting the city of LA to championshiphood once again after the considerable spell left behind by the Magic Johnson Lakers. And they did it all here at Staples Center.
Welcome to Crypto.com Arena. To ensure safe
Until
entry, all guests must have their entry ticket.
all of that changed just shy of 2 years ago when a cryptocurrency firm... Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. It seems bad in hindsight. But they had, and still have low-key, boatloads of money to throw at whatever they wanted. Including bail. Including bail. That means loads of celebrity promos, advertisements upon advertisements galore. And really, to sum it all up, exposure. Let's take a look at Miami. Now, sorry, I don't got the budget to fly over there right now, so we're just gonna have to settle with pretending. Everyone, close your eyes with me. Pretend. We're going to Miami.
Hey, listen, man, we back in Miami.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The American Airlines Arena, home of the D-Wade and Shaq Heat, the Heatles era, and the Ray Allen. People, including me, were around for less time in 2019 than the American Airlines Arena. However, in 2019, American Airlines, as the name suggests, a domestic American flight company, did not renew their lease for naming. Instead of renewing it, they just sort of let it go. So now, the door was open for an iconic venue to have their name changed for whoever threw enough money at it. You can see where this is going. So 2020 rolls around and in comes FTX, a cryptocurrency company carrying a considerable chunk of cash. The Miami-Dade County, just a little bit desperate over the fact that, it's been a year and there haven't been any considerable takers for a new arena. Sort of awkward. They decided to take on the offer of this new sort of mysterious company that has operated in the United States for less than a year, has no ties to Miami, and operates in a completely volatile nation industry. No way this could go wrong, right? 10 out of the 11 district commissioners of Miami-Dade County agreed. They were basically like, hey, great deal, great job, guys, we got our money. $135 million to be exact, for the city of Miami and for their own individual districts. Now, of those 11, obviously one disagreed. Commissioner Rene Garcia of District 13 was like, maybe we shouldn't trust a company that's only been in the States for just a year. So anyway, let's not think about the future, in the past. Let's just stay in the past, man.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. Cryptocurrency was easily, by far, the hottest topic in America in 2021. With the rise in prominence of these new companies, the sky-high prices of Bitcoin, and crypto honestly looking like the future, whatever that meant, it was super, super easy to fall in the line. And also, they had a lot of money. Y'all remember when guys were taking their whole salaries in Bitcoin? Odell Beckham Jr., freaking Saquon Barkley. I almost Spencer Dinwiddie, man. I made a video on that. Granted, 2020, but still, everyone thought it was the future. Obviously wasn't. Enter the Los Angeles Lakers. Their historic agreement with the freaking office supplies company was, after 2 decades of excellence and, not so much excellence, finally coming to a close. The splendid Staples Center, huge, massive, beautiful, was no more. And in its wake came Crypto.com Arena. Why? How the heck did this happen? Well, there's 2 answers. The short one, as with many, many, many things in life, honestly, too many things, was money. 2, the long one, again, as with a lot of things in life, if not everything, it's a lot more complicated than that. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, that's up for you to decide. So, Staples, the aforementioned office supplies company that, let's be real, neither you nor I have stepped a foot in the past 5-10 years, didn't have a signed fixed lease like Miami and American Airlines. It sure did begin that way, though, in 1999, where Schultz Entertainment Group, or AEG for short, and Staples agreed to a $116 million deal for 20 years. But by 2009, in the heart of the economic recession, where, quote, a sports venue's name can be changed quicker than you can say Chapter 11, it's really a sign of the times there, Staples renewed its deal with the Lakers and the Clippers and the hockey team and the Sparks. They're really good, by the way. But besides the point. The point is Staples and that arena over there renewed for life. They were supposed to be like this. The house that Kobe and Shaq built was Staples Center, and it was supposed to remain that way for time immemorial. Until, it's a business. If there's one thing I've learned about living in LA, It's that money talks. Not even talks, like screams, yells, like that, literally. Anyway, AEG, the company that initially helped to construct the Staples Center back in 1997, somehow made their way back into possession of the naming rights in 2019 for an undisclosed sum. I tried to find more information, and what I found was that 1, AEG actually sold the naming rights to Crypto.com for even more money than originally thought, which is freaking crazy. 2, the Crypto.com exec is a little bit of a prick. More on that later. And 3, apparently Staples had a 10-year agreement in 1999, not 20 as mostly reported. And in 2009, that's when they renewed the deal for posterity. But most importantly, the reason that AEG bought back the rights was, well, because they weren't making any money. After they made the deal with Staples in 2009, apparently got to a point where they were not making any more yearly revenue from the naming rights, which, doesn't make that much sense. One of the chief operating officers of AEG Global Partnerships, Nick Waters, literally said this: "It is not good business, aka we are not letting this slide." So they buy the rights back in 2019, and while LeBron and AD are going full Showtime mode for the Los Angeles Lakers, AEG's plotting some. Staples is soon to be no more. That's too dramatic, my fault. Enter Crypto.com. The burgeoning cryptocurrency enterprise is thoroughly enjoying the tailwind the American craze has given them. As one of the premier marketplaces for crypto transactions, Crypto.com is a household URL in many crypto-head circles, but not the general public. And for good reason, to be honest. I mean, really, what do we need crypto for? Security? Like, bro, we already have Apple Pay or Google if you got Android. But alas, the heads at Crypto.com are thinking bigger, as in taking over the entire US dollar bigger. But how do you, as a nerdy, techie, and let's be honest, really freaking sweaty company, get your message out to the general public? Oh, that's right, sports! Yeah! Totally. Crypto.com followed in FTX footsteps, investing over $100 million over 5 years into Formula One in June of 2021. Less than 3 weeks after the Miami deal had been reached. Building up from an initial partnership with the Aston Martin F1 squad, Crypto.com became the primary sponsor for F1 during its sprint series. Just barely a week later, Crypto.com became the global official fight kick partner for the UFC in a 10-year, $175 million deal. Fast forward a month and they make their way over to Europe to become the innovation and tech partner of Serie A, an Italian football league, and partner with PSG within the same month. Then, they made their way back to the States, signing a 6-year, $8-figure deal in order to be the jersey patch for the Philadelphia 76ers. All of this happened within a span of 3 months. The strategy was obvious: get the name out as quickly and as aggressively as possible. After all, there was a competitor in play. FTX, after making the Heat transaction, weren't finished at all. Before Crypto.com rechristened into the Staples Center, FTX had agreed to deals with the MLB, Mercedes Formula One, the Wizards, the Capitals, the Golden State Warriors, to an international deal, no less, and Kentucky men's basketball. And this doesn't even begin to mention the partnerships with famous athletes such as Steph Curry, Tom Brady, and others. Now, the reason why they're doing this, easy, come on. Same as Crypto.com. Michael McCullough, chief marketing officer of the Miami Heat, said this was the reason why they made the deal. Putting your name on the building will get you a big splash, but that's only a part of this deal. A big part is activation, how we help make FTX a household name. Making FTX a household name. It tracks. Think about it. Before 2021, who the heck knew what these companies were? Where would we see them? It took insane marketing efforts and insane budgets in order to get the general public familiar with the term cryptocurrency. But how on earth do you make your company a household name? Taking one of the most recognizable franchises in the world and giving their arena your name isn't the worst idea you could have. So that's what Crypto.com did. Lo and behold, Crypto.com and AEG, our old friend, who began talking in the summer of 2021, finally ramped up negotiations after talks with the other company fell apart. After a few months of back and forth, the final deal was set. 20 years for $700 million. That's Mbappe money we're talking about. I don't know how to feel the fact that that's an actual sense I could say. So, who in their right mind would spend such exorbitant sums, other than the Saudis, on naming an arena? If it was your arena, like, that would make sense. Like, people are gonna call that for ages. You're renaming it, and not only renaming it, but we're talking about Staples Center, the most iconic arena in America. No one's gonna call it Crypto.com. It's stupid. I mean, there's just no way you spend $700 million on a name that people won't use, right? Well, apparently, that's exactly what Crypto.com had hoped for. In an aptly named article for The Athletic, why Crypto.com made a $700 million bet to rename Staples Center and doesn't even expect you to use the name, Steven Kalowitz, the chief marketing officer for Crypto.com, and the prick I was talking about, said essentially, they don't care if you use the name or not. Rather, it's a part of a broader strategy of getting people to know who we are. They're essentially trying to become both widely known and deeply trusted. That's working out pretty great, isn't it? The article goes on to say that Crypto.com thinks sports marketing investments are the way to go. Steven goes on to say, talking about the fans, I'm happy for them to say the company that took over Staples Center. It's about the growth of the business. Bro, $700 million to be known as the company that took over Staples. Is that a madness? Let me know in the comments below. And subscribe, by the way. What are you doing? You just enjoying the video and not subscribing? What's wrong with you? Anyway, using that logic, if there's any arena to take over, Staples would be the one. But anyway, yeah, now this guy Steven's a crazy thing, bro. Listen, he says, and I quote, the Staples Center is not that old. The naming rights partner, I don't even know if they're still in business. Huh? Let's be for real, man. What are we doing here? Don't get on Staples like that. Sure, I mean, no one goes there and like, they're falling off. Let's be real, they're falling off. But like, bro, that's literally the company that you took over. Come on, let's be serious. Anyway, Crypto.com has some huge ambitions. The CEO of Crypto.com, Chris Marszalek, said that they want to be a top 20 brand in the next 3 to 5 years, mentioned alongside Apple and Nike. This was said in November 2021, by the way, right before the purchase. And like everyone else in crypto land seemed to be saying at the time, sports was the way to go. Sure, they spent $700 million for a name nobody will use. Sure, they spent more than any other company in sports naming rights history. Sure, it was 5 times more than the FTX deal with Miami. But Chris and Crypto.com said they did not regret it, not one bit. 100% conviction, he said. Even when they went bankrupt in the United States and had to close up shop. Yep. Seriously. With everything that's happened with crypto since 2021, leading to Crypto.com closing their exchange office in the US, literally because no one wanted to work with them, quotes, there was limited demand from institutions in the United States. They're still dead set on keeping the arena name. We remain fully confident in the continued success of our market differentiating capabilities and offerings, and will continue to offer all other regulated services in the markets in which we operate. In so many words, they think they can get this done, still. But in this world where cryptocurrency has become taboo, do they still think they can be a household name? Well, technically, they already have. And there is that old saying, even bad press is good press. But hey, we'll see. Maybe in a few years, we'll forget about FTX, about the crypto crash, and about everything else. And maybe, just maybe, against all odds, exceeding even the hope of the company itself, people will start calling Staples Crypto.com. But don't count on it. Thanks for watching.
5 by 9 by 1 are permitted. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the event.